apparently the Nothing Phone 3 has a big price drop and it's gonna be coming on a sale, and it's gonna be priced at 35,000 rupees for the Diwali sale. And that honestly seems like a fantastic deal. And I'll get to that, but before that, I want to talk about how this phone was actually launched and what the initial price tag was. I mean, remember that when this phone launched, it launched at 80,000 rupees roughly. I mean, it's a 79,999 or something like that. And I think in the US it was $800 or something. I think that was the price. And it was universally disliked for the main thing, the pricing. The pricing was just too much. It was too out there. And it wasn't reasonable enough, and nothing just didn't have the brand value to pull it off. But now the pricing has come down, and at this price point, now I don't know if there's any sort of price cut that's going on abroad, but in India, at 35,000, under 35,000, it's a fantastic deal. I mean, this is basically a something that goes in the middle of a flagship phone and a budget smartphone. That's kind of where this phone perfectly fits in. And considering the price of the flagship phones, even the base flagship phones, I mean, they're around what? Again, around 80,000 rupees or $800 or something in the US. And the budget phones, well, it depends on, there's a lot of budget phones, but I feel like the most of the budget range that people would like to go into and buy is the 20,000 rupees or 25,000 rupees. I feel that that's a sweet spot, and if that's the sweet spot and those are the high-end phones, then the Nothing Phone 3 at 35,000, well, that honestly feels like a great deal. I mean, you get a somewhat of a flagship experience, even though the processor isn't on the flagship level, but the cameras are pretty good, and the Nothing software is really good, and the displays are good. And this is Nothing's flagship phone. So it's a really good deal. And I really feel like Nothing should try to focus on this and try to keep their prices down. And I get why they would want to increase the prices. I mean, the company's been around for a while, and I'm guessing that they probably don't have a lot of profit margins on these phones, and they cannot really, and they don't have a whole lot of sales, so they can't get that much return on these phones. But again, they are a new company and they need to establish themselves. And as of right now, what's Nothing known for? It's their unique software experience and the glyph stuff, which I feel like Nothing's slowly gonna be moving away from pretty soon. But I feel like the software is probably gonna be one of the main things that Nothing's still gonna focus on. And the problem with that is, well, you can get that at 20,000 rupee price point. I mean, there are a lot of budget Nothing phones. I think the Nothing Phone 3A is around 21,000, under 21,000 something, and the 3A Pro is around under 25,000. So in order to get the software experience, you don't really need the Nothing Phone 3 or the higher end phones. So Nothing can't really use software to justify increasing the price to the customers. They need to do something else. And what I would like them to do is focus on the camera and go all in on the camera, because I feel like that's the one area where you can really compete as a manufacturer. Because cameras, what makes the flagship phones so great? What do they have in common besides the huge specs? It's the camera. They all have great cameras. And even when you think about OnePlus, the only thing that's really holding that phone back is the camera. Even though it has the great specs, it doesn't have a great camera. And because of that, people don't consider it in the same range as the Samsungs or the Apples or the Pixels. So Nothing, rather than focusing on the hardware, I feel like they should focus on the software. And again, I get it. It's it takes a lot of money, a lot of R&D to create great software. It's a lot for a new company to do. But in order to survive in the smartphone market, I feel like this is the only real way. Nothing can do it. I don't see any other way nothing can bring themselves up as a flagship, a true flagship competitor and be on the same level of Apple or Samsung in a few years without the camera. I mean, OnePlus has been around for a long time, and till now they haven't been able to go toe to toe with them, and that's because of the camera. And it's a big deal. And OnePlus is a good brand, and people do like the brand, but when you look at the price point, they want a good camera at that price point. They don't feel like they're losing out on anything. And the camera is something that everyone notices and everyone uses. I mean, the specs are great to think about, but you don't actually see the specs. You use the phone, and if it's working fine, you probably don't really think too hard about it. But the camera, if the camera is not as great as the flagship phones, as soon as you see it, you will notice it, and you do use the camera a lot. And because of this, nothing really does need to change their strategy and focusing on the software, not just the software, but the camera software. And that, I feel that's the way they could compete in every single segment. And yeah, they need to make improvements as much as they can to each segment of their phones. So that's what I think about the Nothing Phone 3 and what's going on with it. Now, concerning the new prices, now I don't know these after the sales over what the price will be, but if it's still around the under 45,000 or something, it's still gonna be a good phone, and it should have always been a good phone. It should have always been around that price point. And yeah, nothing. Let's hope they figure things out and find a way to move forward in a way that the customers would love them to. Because we want more competition in the smartphone space. Because when there's more competition, we get better products. And right now, in terms of camera hardware, there's just, let's be real, there's just a few companies, and we need more competition in that space. So yeah, that's what I think.